Órale, Cholo Trucker Moss Movies and Shows, and here we got episode 12 of season 6, the final season of Cobra Kai. Man, I love this episode. Yes, I did, man. Okay, getting serious here for a second before I get to the things that I really loved about the episode. All right, so basically, I mean, from the previous episode, the tournament's back on. So now in this episode, it's time to get training, right? Try to get back to it. But the Russo, and his wife decide to go do a little wine tasting, and they realize that they can't leave Chosen. This is the first time we see Chosen in a little bit. So they take him so that he just doesn't hang around and watch Storage Wars or binge watch Storage Wars. We didn't get to see any of the villains in this one, in this episode. So they take him up wine tasting, right? While everybody else, they're training, right? You got Sam training with their arch nemesis, Miguel and Robbie. They're training. They're freaking with some technology where you throw on the goggles. Good gosh, man! I mean, that's where really the world is headed. Man, that's where the world is headed. So you're able to see and replicate your opponent's moves, and it was a little bit trippy. And I was like, how can you fight wearing all that stuff? It comes with like a vest and everything. Like, good gosh, man. It reminds me of laser tag from way back in the day. Um, so they're doing their thing while Johnny Lawrence, he is feeling a little bit guilty because his his well, it's not his mother-in-law yet, right? But she says, "Hey, you're bringing sin, right? Because you're having a kid without being married." So Johnny, being the guy that he is, he's really not a romantic guy. He really doesn't know what to do. He makes a huge effort to really change it up, right? He wants to propose to her. I forget her name, but it's Miguel's mom. So he wants to propose to her. So he takes cooking classes and what else? He goes and gets fitted for a suit. He wants to propose to her right and impress her and, finally get married, you know. Um, Good on him, man, because it was way out of his element. It was way, it's not who he is. And when the time came, it didn't happen the way he planned it because she actually went into labor. So he had to do it there at the hospital instead of at home with all the roses that he put down that he stole from somebody's yard. It was a like I said, it was a fun episode. Um, his I forgot. That's right. His homie is a pastor. His homie from back in the day, Cobra Kai. I forgot who it was specifically, but that was kind of a fun conversation there in church as well. But some of the stuff why I love this and love this show so much is the nostalgia that it brings back, man. It is just kick ass, man. So they take Chosen, Daniel LaRusso and his wife take Chosen with him wine tasting, right? And they're like, hey, how about we set him up? And I guess the wife has a homegirl that's gonna meet them there, and it's like, yeah, let's see if we can, set him up with homegirl, right? And it's like, and she's all like, well, it's a girl, she's into like earthly things and all that stuff, right? And who is it that they're setting them up with? None other than straight out of Bayside High School. Jesse Spano. Yes, Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell. Hey, I got to go ahead and tell you this, man. She has aged very well. She has, man. She is, I mean, I don't know how old she is now, but she has aged very well, man. She looks good. So she's there and she's into all like these tarot cards and crystals and just like all this stuff and chosen's like this is all BS. What the hell is this? But they go ahead and they connect through whatever reality shows, Storage Wars, and I forgot what other shows, man, that I'm not into, but they connect through that. She reads his future, saying that somebody or even more than one person that's close to chosen is going to die in the very, very near future, and that he will be making life with someone soon. So, yeah, that's we'll see what happens with that. I think that's going to be connected somewhere with these last few episodes here. Um, that was one thing that I liked, the fact that Jesse Spano was there, Elizabeth Berkley from Showgirls. Um, Another thing is when it was time to get married there in the hospital, right? The violinists come in and they start playing Take My Breath Away from Top Gun. Gosh, man, that was so damn good. That was so damn good. I just, I love it, man. I love it. When they started playing that, I started thinking about Maverick. I was like, wow, man, Maverick and what's her name? Kelly McGillis. What was her name in Top Gun? Charlie, at least they called her. Man, it was so damn good. I loved it, man. I was like, damn, this is so badass. They know exactly how to pull the strings for the older generation to kind of bring them back into the show, right? And it was so damn good. So damn good. And you know what was also funny that I shouldn't just overlook, or that was really good, was the very beginning of this episode where you had that main dude. I don't know his name, the guy that runs the Haikai, Taikai, whatever it's called. He's there in the valley. They're all arguing with each other, and he's there to kind of put down his foot and be like, hey, knock all this off. I thought it was funny on how they argue with one another of who's crooked, who's not. You take money from this, and how did you do over there? And it just like it's almost like politicians, right? They keep pointing the finger at each other, and then it's like they're trying to throw him in the mix, and he's all like, "How about we just settle this the old-fashioned way?" And he kicks dude in the face and says, "All right, any other objections? All right, then let's move on." Man, I wish it would just be handled that way. Mano a mano, Holmes, or foot to the face. Anyway, man, I really enjoyed this episode for those reasons. Seeing Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell, hearing Take My Breath Away from Top Gun, it made it. It was great, man. Great episode. And let's continue as we come to the final episodes left of one of the best shows, man, in Cobra Kai. Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. See you guys for episode 13.